Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living. Today what we're going to do is talk to you about the farmer dog. It's like special food that's formulated just for your dog. And the reason I'm giving you this testimony, this is not vegan. So if you're vegan, don't watch. Right away, jump off the channel. But if you are avid dogs or pets and you have difficulty with your animals eating regularly on time, then you should watch this video. This video has really changed my life. Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living, a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. The farmer's dog ingredients and recipes. Okay. Meat, old muscle, and organ meats make up at least 50% of our recipes. Vegetables may not be the first thing you think of when you think of dog food, but green and orange vegetables provide important health benefits to dogs. Fresh legumes like chickpeas, vegetables like sweet potatoes, supplemental nutrients. Dog nutrition. Good nutrition is a cornerstone of your dog's health, and one of the most important things you can provide for a long, happy life. Learn more about all facets of nutrition, including the best and worst foods to give your dog, weight maintenance and food role in managing health issues and picky eating. Can my dogs eat mangoes? Yes. Fresh pet food and nutritional research. Better for them, easier for you. Real food made fresh delivered gets 50% off the first order. Want to know about ear mites? How to choose veterinarian for your dog? Training and behavior. Is it okay to have a dog in the city? Absolutely not. They have to stay in the countryside. How to care for a blind dog. That'd be a bummer. Why does my dog bring me things? How to date when you have a dog. Fresh food. A healthy life starts with healthy food. You shouldn't be the only one eating healthy. Real food, USDA kitchen, made fresh, vet developed. Oh, see your recipe. Let's determine your meal plan. Recommended recipe, weekly price. This only takes 3 minutes per dog. So once you have your dog set up, you can tell him, like TJ has got a really good physique. He keeps himself active. So he's got a clear waistline and tucked in belly. And then he's a very active dog. So they're going to give him a calorie count of 462 calories for half the pack, which I break in half because I feed him twice. And then they're going to give us both chicken and beef, and I always feed them chicken first, and then I slowly bring the beef into play. And Joy, the girl, she's just lost a lot of weight, and now she's just right. It looks like this is incorrect. I have to fix this. So you go to edit, and you see I've changed to just right. And now I have to figure out her lifestyle, because our lifestyle is now active. No treats or scraps right now. We're just feeding them the dog food. Okay, so let's continue. And then, okay, so these are all ready to go. I'm not adding a new dog. And then it says me. You can change it. Say I didn't want to have the week of August 21st. I want it on August 28th. I would just click that button and continue. Or if I didn't want it at all in August, saying today is the 22nd, I probably won't get this one because it takes them a while to prepare it and send it to me. I'll probably get it at the end of the month, and I think I have just enough food for that. You can skip months. You don't have to buy it every single week, though I'm sure they would like you to buy it every week. You can skip months, and it gives you a chance to be able to plan the food for your dog. That's why I like it. All right, so let's see now. Currently schedule. Let's see, it should be a way. Oh, it says continue. Oh, you can't continue because that's what I'm cited on. Okay. Your order is already scheduled for that week. Please select another month to reschedule, and I don't plan to reschedule. So then we're just going to get out of that. This is my orders. The details, they look like that. 5 beef packages and 5 chicken for both TJ and Joy. It comes up to $201.22, and the shipping is free. Taxes is $16.19. It's a good deal. The dog have not missed one single bite. They eat all their food. Okay, so that's it. Yep. So, like all advertisement, my wife, who's been away taking care of her health, saw this advertisement on the farmer's dog. And and I'd seen it a few times on TikTok, and I'd seen it on Facebook. And I was wondering to myself, does this really work? I have the 2 pickiest Basenjis you ever imagine. If I don't find some way to entice them to eat their food, they just don't eat it. They turn up. I could put hamburger in there, I could put gravy on, I could put chicken juice on it, and they still will not eat it. Until I tried the farmer's dog. Everything's different now. All right, so what happens, you make your order, and it comes in this giant box. And then when you open it, it's very well contained. It's got it's got this preparation, and what happens is let me move this around. But dog food comes in these bags, these long bags. Now these are defrosted, but these are frozen. Let me show you. Frozen. So when you fill out the information for your dogs, let's pretend that your dogs are named Joy and TJ. So Joy happens to be a little rounded, and so she's gonna get a little bit less food than TJ is. One of TJ's, let me show you, is a little bit wider. So what you need to do, you put them all together, and then I can explain to you the 3 choices that you have. There's another TJ, there's another Joy. Now, you get 20 days worth if you follow their specific diagram on how to do this. All right, on the bottom of this box is dry ice. You can't see that. Right here. And what happens, they warn you, it says right here, please do not touch the dry ice. It's very cold. It can hurt you if you don't know what you're doing. And it's well sealed. Everything about the farmer's dog packaging is incredibly nice. They have spent an enormous amount of money, you can see, and they give you directions like they say here. This insulation is biodegradable. Remove the cornstarch foam from the recycling liner and underwater, and it just melts. It's very well organized. The box says the same thing, they're biodegradable. I thought it was interesting that this box came from West Sacramento, California, 95691. It has my address on here. It's very sturdy, and their advertisement is saying that if you feed the farmer's dog to your dog will live longer. I've noticed my dogs have a lot more energy in the last 2 weeks that I've been using the product. All right, so Joy, there are 3 different varieties of foods. They have a chicken recipe, they have a beef recipe, Joy loves beef, and they have a turkey recipe. And the turkey is much whiter, of course, because it's like white meat, the other white meat. Anyway, so I digress. So I'm gonna show you next what I do. So these hard ones here, they're gonna go back in the freezer. I have another refrigerator in the garage, and that's where I keep them.
And then I always have 1 or 2 of these defrosted. They can last up to 4 days the way they are. Okay, so then what I do, I put in the dry dog food. The food is not behaving. So if you start the way they expect, okay, that's not gonna work. But if you start the way they expect to show you the food, you start, say you were giving your Joy and your TJ a cup of food. Okay, so here, you would take a cup, you put it into your meal. And what they want you to do is, you wouldn't give them a full cup. What you would be doing is giving them like maybe 75% of the kibble, the dry kibble. And then you would add 25% of their dog food, which is exactly what we're gonna do today. All right, so what I do is I use, because it's sort of wet, I use one of these mats, and I have already opened this one. This is Joy's recipe for chicken. And then I use a butter knife. Okay, just a standard butter knife. Then I use the big knife and I cut so that I can easily get the food out. Okay, so like this. And then I kind of figure out how much I'm going to give them. I do this. All right, now, of course it's supposed to jump out like that. So then just kind of tap it in. And then in the very, very beginning, I was giving them exactly half a serving to their kibble. And as time went along, I was almost giving them all of this, all of the chicken or turkey or beef. And I never ever saw my dogs not go out of their way to eat every single bite of this food. But I'm going to show you how I do this. So once it's done, I take a portion, like so, and I try to get the other portion pretty even. There's a cut there, but it's not coming through. Okay. And what I kind of do is kind of figure out there. Now this is what you'd give on your first day. A 25% of a serving, and then 75% of the first food. After 2 days, then you go to 50% of the farmer's dog, to 50% of kibbles. 2 more days later, you go to 75% of the farmer's dog, to 25%, and eventually, by the end of the week, you can now eat an entire one of these. Well, not you, Joy and TJ. It says right here, it's half a pack, half of this per day. Now what I do is I feed my dogs twice a day, so I cut it 1 more time, and that way they have some in the morning and they have some at night, and they never turn their noses to it. It's amazing food. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Now, you have to slowly give the farmer's dog to your dog, especially if he's finicky and he's one of these picky eaters. Okay, so you take your spatula, in this case a knife, and you put it in. And that's it. You don't have to add any juices to it, nothing. Okay, so you can use a fork. It's a little hard to do with a knife. I'm going to bring you a close-up of what I'm talking about. So here, this one is TJ. Okay, and you just mix it in. So this exact recipe would have been the 2nd week of the farmer dog system. Okay? And then for Joy, I do the same thing. I mix it in real good, try to get the kibbles it seems that they've been eating kibbles for over 6 years. And the first week I did this too fast. For my dogs, I am just going back and redoing the system to give them a chance to adapt to the new farmer's dog. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera over here. And this right here is Joy. Joy's his food. TJ is on the other side. Okay. Come on, guys. Put a fence across between TJ and Joy because Joy will eat TJ's food. Now you can see them both together. I'm going to remove the fence. But they're pretty much going to stick their noses in their individual plates. And now they are eating. I want you to know it's just kibble and the farmer's dog food. And every day that I've been giving them, there's TJ, there's Joy, their food. They don't turn their nose to it at all. It's incredible. The best way to explain this or show you is after they're finished. Before I used to purchase all kinds of ingredients to try to get them to eat dog food, dog treats, chicken, whatever I could find to get them to eat. And I could never get them to eat this way. I've been doing this now for 2 weeks and the dogs are eating it just fine. And they're continually eating it. You can see that Joy is just chomping away. And TJ is over here. Let me see if I can move the camera to show you a little bit better of TJ. Yep, that's a happy dog. Over here is Joy. Action eating. That's what I call it, action eating. Right now it's 6:10. Normally I feed him at 5 o'clock, but it's been 104 degrees all day long. I thought I could wait a little while. TJ is my boy. Okay, we're gonna pull this back a little bit. That you can see them both. And then you can see that they're still, okay, so Joy has got a completely empty plate, 100%. And TJ, he eats a lot slower than Joy does. And he might leave 1 or 2 kibble behind, but I think he's gonna wipe it all out today. Okay, I think it's all gone. Let me see how it looks. Hard to do this when you're on the fly. Okay, it's all gone. My dry kibble, I use Rachel Ray. Just works for us. They've always eaten it, they're happy with it. We've tried fish with him, he doesn't touch it. We've tried many, many different types of dog food. Nothing has been like the farmer's dog. Okay? Now, there happens to be vegetables and all kinds of good things in there, probably bone meal, antibiotics. There's a list someplace on the website. I'll make sure I include it in this video. But I can tell you, this is a 100% win. Now, let me explain you the bad part of it. It's $200 for 20 days. And what they do is they take your credit card up front and they will send you a box every 20 days. And I think that if you think about humans, today for example, my wife and I went out and we had lunch and each meal costs $15. So that's maybe a $30 meal. You're not even spending that kind of money on a farmer's dog per day to feed your dog. But if you can afford the $200 and you have an extremely picky eater like I have, this is the food you need to get, okay? The farmer's dogs send you all their food. They give you a little book. They kind of explain how their food works and why it does. They also give you the recipes. There is, for example, chicken, turkey, and beef. They give you a complete list of what's in it, so you're not surprised. I'll give you an example. I know, for example, Joy loves beef. And so they have beef, sweet potatoes, lentils, carrots, beef liver, water, kale, sunflower seeds, salt, salmon oil, potassium chloride, a bunch of chemicals, magnesium, amino acids, more stuff. You'll see it on the site. I'll put everything up. You'll get a piece of paper like this. This is the TJ's. It tells you day one you're taking 25% of the farmer's dog and 75% of the existing food that you were eating. In my case, it was Rachel Ray kibble. And then on day 7, you're giving them the full portion of the farmer's dog. They tell you how to cut the bags, how to make them work. I'm really happy with this dog food. I can't state how wonderful it is to see my dogs eat. It's something I've been struggling with for a very long time. And I even have made their own dog food from scratch, cutting up chicken, putting in vegetables, but you're always missing something. And in the farmer's dog, I don't feel like I'm missing something. The dogs eat it because they know it's good for them. After 2 weeks, this is all I have left. Okay, so Joy, when I originally filled online the questionnaires about my dog is severely overweight, is rounded, lacks any kind of energy. She enjoys her walks, but that's about it. TJ is what I call the perimeter check person, and this way is the dog. He wanders around from room to room. He makes sure that the house is safe. In the morning, he does the same thing. He is constantly moving. If I put him in the backyard, he is always checking to make sure the birds are off the property. We don't want any animals apart from these two to be anywhere. And sometimes what I really have noticed, and I hadn't seen it for a very long time, we now have zoomies again. And they have a burst of energy and they're playing again. And I'm really starting to think that this is the reason the farmer's dog. This food adds the energy and the vitality that the dogs need. Okay. Now when I started shooting the video, what I started thinking, I'll just show you how fast the dogs eat, and that way you'll have a really good understanding that, this dog food works. I started thinking, well, that's not really gonna work. And I'm gonna explain to you why I don't think it's gonna work, or change people's ideas. One time, that could be a fluke. 2 times might even be a fluke plus. I'm gonna show you the entire week. I will try not to add extra things to it so we can make it fast. But I'll show you day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. You get the point. You see an entire week, my dog's eating this food. They never leave anything behind, except for TJ, he leaves a kibble behind. But the point is that this food is so good, they eat it every single meal. Okay, so the first one on your left side is going to be Joy. And the second one is going to be TJ. You can see, I'm going to turn on the lights. Real time. I'll speed this up so you don't have to put up with them eating, but it gives you an idea. You notice they are not walking away. Their nose is glued to their bowl and they are eating. And it's like this every time, using the farmer's dog food. Because we all know the farmer's dog always eats better than the city dogs. TJ's food, Joy's food, completely empty. Matter of fact, they'll probably touch each other's bowls to make sure that it's empty. This is another day in a Basenji's life. This is the time where the dogs get to eat exactly what they want. Okay, come on TJ, get your food. And here's your food, Joy. So they both left a little bit of food this morning, but that has nothing to do with the farmer's dog. I had rice last night, and I gave him a little bit of rice. So they left a little bit of the kibble behind. All of the farmer's dog is gone. And now TJ is helping himself to Joy's plate.
I'm sure he appreciates that I'm filming him as he's eating.
So it's been another day, a really good day where everybody's eating. And now he's going back to his own dish. Now that he's basically licked off all of the farmer's food off the kibbles, he's going back to finish his own plate, or in this case, dish. Another successful day. So this is pretty close to day 4. I'm greeting you with a delicious cup of coffee that I make myself every single morning. I've already had my breakfast, which is basically oatmeal and fruit. And I've given the dogs their farmer dog's delicious food, and they always eat it. Right now, because I had added a little bit of rice because we went to a Mexican restaurant last night, they didn't eat all of that. I kind of cheated a little bit. I don't even need to add additives like this to the dog food. They eat all their food. TJ is bouncing from one dish to the next. He's gonna be hungrier today. It's gonna be an active day for both the dogs and us. Anyway, just wanted to pass that along. So take a look at this clip real quick and you'll see how fast they eat it. And give TJ, Joy, enjoy their food. And while they're eating, I'm gonna tell you what happened. This food works. You don't ever have to add any additional food to it. And what I did is I added some shredded beef. What did that do? The next morning, their poop was gooey again. It wasn't the farmer dog food that did that. It was me adding the additives. You don't have to add rice. You don't have to add anything kitchen scraps. You just feed them this with a little bit of kibble to get them off the kibble, and eventually you only feed them the farmer's dog, and they eat it every single time. All right, I'm gonna let you enjoy the time while my dogs eat. By now you've seen several days where I've showed you that the dogs are eating every single time. So it gives you a good idea of, does the farmer's dog food work? And it does. Can you use it 100% for your dog and live longer? The only way I know that this is a possibility is I would have to continue doing that, and I plan to. But I plan to try some of the other dog foods because I'm curious. Are the other dog foods as good as the farmer dog? This is not really vegan. There is a lot of vegetables and so forth in this food, but I always have given my dogs vegetables with their kibble. So that's nothing new, but still, they eat the food instantly. It doesn't stay behind the house. I mean, on the floor. It doesn't stay on the floor all day long. It's gone instantly. I can wash their dishes, and we start clean every single day. I think this is a win. The farmer's dog food works. The dogs eat it. They know it's good for them. It's gone. It's so delicious for them. They don't think about saving it for later in the day. Come on, kids, let's eat. Come on, Joey. TJ. Nothing holds their attention like the farmer's dog fresh pet food. Well, this is the last one I'm going to be showing you of this. I hope you've enjoyed my dogs eating over the last week. I love that sound of eating. Last night, after they ate, they had zoomies. When they ran around the room, they were in good spirits. Joy has lost over 4 pounds. TJ is keeping his 27 pounds. I'm really happy with the situation here. It's like I was feeding them steak. Well, we sure appreciate that you've been following us and taking care of me in my plate that's going on with me. Vertigo is back, unfortunately, but overall, Linda is a little bit better. There's a lot to work on. Medication is a tricky thing in the human body. The only thing is the dogs don't seem too upset. They see me every single night, and they know I always come back. Well, I hope they do. All right, well, the proof's in the pudding. She left a couple pieces of corn, and TJ didn't leave anything. See, nothing. So you've seen it firsthand, several days in a row, where the dogs were fed the farmer's dog fresh pet food. Not one time did they not eat their dishes all the way down. Unless I put something stupid in it, like the other day I put corn in there. They didn't care much for that. They left a little bit of that behind. But that had nothing to do with the farmer's food. So I really recommend that if you had one of those dogs, like I have very picky eaters, who make you run around trying all these different types of foods, buy the farmer's dog, because I don't think you're gonna feel unhappy. Matter of fact, look at this. This is for yoga. This is what I'm talking. I'm down to the last two, for one for Joy and one for TJ, and both of these are chicken recipes. They truly love they love the chicken and they love the beef. Now I had a little bit of a bad problem with the turkey, but that's just my dogs. They've never ever liked turkey, even when I gave them turkey from the turkey itself. So it's just them. But chicken and beef, wow. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this long video about the farmer's dog. I sure appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you soon in our next video. Bye-bye. Put this away. Save it for tomorrow.